don't know about you who went to church, but there was a lot of subconscious, unconscious programming that would create shame around the body, right? Self-pleasure or any kind of pleasures or senses with the body that was outside of marriage or outside of the religious indoctrination was considered shameful, right? So this has been a lot that came up for me too with this full moon, where I still was carrying shame, guilt around sexuality, around being sexually expressive, around being creative, because the highest octave of creativity is sexuality. That's one of the deep tantric reveals, is that we create life when we have sex, right? When we merge together in that sacred union. And so where has that been out of balance? Where were we in shame in our body and our sexuality and how we created? And so the mantra for this says, I rejoice in my sexuality. It is natural for me. I appreciate the pleasure my body gives me. It is safe for me to be who I am. So this is also what's going to be revealed to you anywhere you've been out of balance in your body, in your sexual nature, where there's been pain, suppression, shame, guilt, especially for those of us who carry that in our wombs, because all life comes from a womb, right? The sacred reveal of the divine feminine. And where has there been wounds in the feminine? Again, this is that axis point, because Black Moon Lilith, we talked about that at the beginning of this channeling, was the part of us that were exiled because we didn't want to be dominated, because we wanted to be sexual equals. We wanted to be sexually balanced with our partners, and we weren't allowed to be because of the indoctrination, the programming, the religious fervor that kept us bound in bondage to these ways of believing. And I'm not saying, religion's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just a frequency. And it's the agreeable parts of religion and the disagreeable parts. And for me, that's been the disagreeable part that has kept a lot of us even scared to create, right? Even scared to create businesses. If you're a woman out there, to step into your power, right? To be your authentic, creative, primal life force creator has been shamed in the past because of, again, religious indoctrination, but all that shifting and collapsing as that 29-degree anaretic in Pisces, that's dissolving. And we're stepping into more of an age of sovereignty, of being in the body, right? The I am presence. I am safe to be sexual. I am safe to be in my body. And it's okay for me to have desires and cravings and desire for union. But I'm just going to go to the next octave of it, right? The highest octave of it, which is the sacred tantra, the sacred union of beings. So is there anything else that wanted to come through in this now time moment for anybody who's watching? Is there any other messages and things that wanted to be brought to light? Yeah, I guess I just wanted to share with you too. I had an incredible conversation with my mom on Mother's Day right before this full moon in Scorpio, and was able to hold space for her stories as she was a younger woman and describing some of the experiences that she went through as a younger woman in the 60s and 70s. And so that was an opportunity for me to heal, to really hear her story. And because we pick up the wounds of our mothers, right, of our ancestors. So I was able to listen to the higher octave of her and really just hold space for her and her trauma and what she went through as a young woman, and what I inherited from her womb, the union between my mom and my dad. They each had their own individual wombs, but they also have gifts too, right? So